Imagine just living your life and people just think that they can just put their 2 cents in everything.
When it comes to this, I guess this debate about what celebrities deal with versus what, people with 9-to-5s or live this quote unquote normal life.
Yeah.
It's a two-sided thing. I think there's different levels, or not necessarily levels, but different kinds of mental health issues that I think both sides have to deal with. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to whatever that Chance the Rapper list, where it's fix your bed, and and people are like, oh, I'm going to think about that the next time I want to kill myself.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. It's hard to say what someone else is going through.
Right.
So of course there's not going to be just one solution to one problem.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple problems that need individualized solutions.
Right.
It's a double-sided thing that I think people get blinded from because they're going through it. They're going through their own experience. They're going through their own experience, so they're almost blinded from the fact that since someone, I guess, has more money than you or is in a different position than you, they're not going through anything at all. It's a two-sided thing. Don't mind us, but we made it through 2018.
Have we though?
And we have a couple more weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple more weeks.
Hopefully.
And in that meantime, right up until Christmas, I'm getting my Christmas shopping done. Mm-hmm. And I feel good about it. I don't know. But Christmas is arriving.
It is.
The semester is over with Shayla.
It is over.
We are alive and talking on the podcast.
We are.
An achievement. An achievement. So what you been up to, Shayla? I mean, the break is here. What have you been up to?
Nothing much. Been waiting to record this podcast. I've been sitting here ever since school done, just waiting with my laptop. I'm just joking.
Yeah, researching constantly.
Yeah, no. What have I been? I've been doing job hunting. I'm looking for a job. I've been doing a lot of that, and
until this becomes lucrative, and we start making money off of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's not the plan. I've also been
and then we sell out, and then
we become fake.
Yeah,
we forget where we come from.
We don't. Our opinions aren't original.
And then people know my shoe size.
We start not liking. We start not liking each other, but we do this because
we have to.
We have to.
How could you not like me?
This just got.
That sounds so narcissistic.
It's confidence. Good job.
It's a genuine question I have. I try to be nice to people. I think. Well, I don't try.
I don't know. You're not as mean as other people. How about
that? I don't
there
try. I'm not. I don't want people. I don't try.
You're not purposely evil.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not ooh, you want to be my friend? Here's a candy. I don't try to force people to be my friend.
Or I think we're best friends after I give you a cookie or something.
Yeah.
You know how that happens? Oh, we're best friends now because I did something for you or you did something for me.
Yeah. That's weird to me. I'm very weird. If you talk to my roommate, he'll tell you how weird I am when it comes to friendships. I have to be very close with somebody to consider them my friend or best friend. So I mean, I'm learning that. I'm learning hey, people can be your friend even if you don't spend every second of the day with them, And I don't expect to spend every second of the day with people. It's just a weird thing I have.
Especially at this age where we're constantly busy, either
work,
working, school. I mean, there's a lot to juggle. But anyway, you're job hunting.
But yeah, I've been job hunting. Also, I've been brainstorming some personal projects I think I might want to do. I think I want to.
Well, stay tuned.
I created a social media, a Twitter account for this podcast.
Yes.
That you humans should follow.
Shout out to our 12 followers, by the way.
Shout out to our 12 followers.
Should we say 10 because I follow it?
And I follow? No, it still counts.
It still counts because
anyway,
we retweet.
Y'all should follow us if you want to see all the updated, episodes and whatever we have to tweet, whatever. Sometimes we retweet music and stuff like that. We also might put, playlists on there.
Oh.
If you like music.
If you like music.
If you like music. So follow us at DMU_pod. Again, DMU_pod.
Nice plug.
Nice plug.
Nice plug.
And be on the lookout for a future Instagram. You know, we're moving slowly. We're taking our time, but, you know, we want it to be good for our followers, our listeners, you know, however many we have. And, yeah.
First off, the podcast is good. This is quality content right here.
Yes.
This is why you listen.
I mean, you might be biased, but go off.
Yeah, you're right. Gas us up. No. I think the podcast is quality. I think the social medias are going to be great.
Yeah,
because we'll be releasing lists, especially after this episode. We might have some playlists coming out, some lists. Yeah. Because in this episode, we're talking about our best albums, our
top albums.
Wait, hold up. You can't rank art, LaShayla.
Okay, Noname.
Our favorite albums. Personal favorite albums. I also have honorable mentions. I have special mentions of music. And what am I trying to say? Just a broad overview of kind of some, or like maybe some moments.
That we like personally.
Some moments in 2018 in music. And then we have our standout songs of the year, which will ultimately be in a playlist. And that's going to be the best playlist on Spotify.
Yes, ever.
Also, Team Spotify. Not Apple Music.
If you're Apple Music, I don't know. I recently asked somebody, did they listen to Spotify? And they're like, I'm like, how do you get your music? And they're like, I download it. And I'm like, and they have an iPhone. And I'm like, what?
Spotify exists.
Yeah, I mean.
We're also on Spotify.
We're on Spotify. Like our podcast?
Yeah, our podcast.
Yes, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, and we're on SoundCloud. 2 episodes on SoundCloud.
Okay,
but,
go off.
You know, we're coming.
Our first 5 minutes is us plugging this podcast.
Yeah.
On the podcast.
Well, going back to what I've been up to.
You got something else?
No, it's just that. What about you? What have you been up to?
I've just been working.
And where do you work?
Okay, not only working, but I've been catching up on movies. I've been watching a good amount of movies. And I'll tell you, I just got back yesterday. A whole day in the mood. No, I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's this animated Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
in association with Marvel.
It's amazing.
Theaters? Yes.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I've seen a lot of tweets about it.
If I have to recommend a movie to go see in the theaters, it'd be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If I have to recommend a movie to see on Netflix, The Incredible Jessica James.
Oh, I love that movie.
On Netflix. I watched it last week or maybe a few days ago.
I watched it like a year ago.
It's a great movie. It's a very fun movie. You'll laugh a lot. And if you want something more serious, Roma on Netflix. It's a foreign language film. It's all in black and white, so it's not to a lot of people's tastes. It's not easily accessible for people, because on Netflix you have so many distractions. And I listened to this podcast called The Big Picture where they talk about that second screen where you're either on your phone during a movie when you're watching Netflix or you're distracted by something else. Yeah. So it's hard. I think for this movie, Roma, you have to make an event out of it. Like they said on that podcast, it's like you make an event out of it. And I literally did. I just put my phone like across the room. I didn't look at it. I turned all the lights off like I was in a movie theater and just watched it on my TV. And this movie is in my top 10 of movies of 2018. And I don't watch a lot of foreign language films. I don't like movies in black and white. I thought this movie was really well directed. And yeah, so I've been watching a lot of movies lately. So I've been working and watching movies. That's pretty much my break so far.
I'm glad you brought up movies because I recently watched BlacKkKlansman.
Yes. Oh, are we doing a movie review of BlacKkKlansman right now?
I mean, I could just quickly
what'd you
tell
think?
you my thoughts.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Interesting.
This is gonna be a movie podcast eventually.
I mean, like it was interesting. It was he was the feds, like like he's
just like Vlad.
Yeah, like. It's interesting because Spike Lee, who directed the movie, has been known to say things like kind of against the police. However, he did take like $200,000 from NYPD to like advertise something. And so it's just kind of like, you know, Spike Lee, you know. And then when you watch, and then knowing that and watching the movie, it's like, is he trying to like humanize police officers? I mean, obviously police officers are human, duh. But I have interesting takes on the police.
What would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, that's hard.
It's hard.
Because I feel like I don't know what good movies are, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like I feel like I don't have the. I feel like I'm not.
You feel like you don't have like a good reference of movies to where you can be like, oh, this is a good movie that, movies are subjective.
Like you are obviously into movies. I feel like it's easier for you to rate movies as opposed to me. I feel like I don't watch many movies. Like that was probably like the third or fourth movie I watched this year, and
oh yeah,
that's probably like an exaggeration, but maybe not an exaggeration, but like I don't think I might have watched more than 5 movies, but
you can definitely count on your hands
how many movies I've watched.
You watched this year.
Yeah, I don't watch movies a lot, so I feel like I can't necessarily rate it. But I mean, did I like it? Like I liked Blindspotting, so I liked Blindspotting. That was like a 10 to me, but
it's a 10.
That one would be like a 6 or 7.
Yeah. Okay. Black Klansman.
The way it ended was interesting.
Mm.
Because at the end, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it.
Uh-oh.
But at the end, he's sitting with his girlfriend who is she's like the president of her Black Student Union, and she's kind of a radical. She's like, she supports like at this point, I think the Black Panthers are like dismantled, and so she, is more of like a radical, and he is a police officer, and she's like, okay, it's great that you infiltrate the KKK or whatever, and it's great that you did all this, but you shouldn't be a cop. And he's like, but I love being a cop. Like that happens at the end of the movie, and then you see a cross burning. They like go to the window and you see the cross burning, and then they kind of bring in images of like kind of relating it back to Charlottesville with the tiki torches and stuff like that. And they tried to do like parallels where, it's like kind of reminiscent of something that happened recently. Yeah. And I think that part was pretty powerful, like the slideshow of
definitely the ending of the movie. Yeah.
But the ending kind of, when she was kind of sitting with him and asking him like about like, are you still going to be a cop? Like that part just kind of made me think about the whole movie as like a whole, as like, what was the point? Like what was it? Like, what are we supposed to like pull our own, I guess that we are as the audience, to pull our own like conclusions from the movie, I guess. But it's like, was the point of the movie to make us like the police? Or, and it's like, I understand we might have very different views when it comes to like the police. And I feel like I'm not even like super like educated right now to even dive into the subject. I mean, I know where I stand, but I feel like I need to do more research.
I mean, movies are just open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of them are. Some of them are more straightforward, and the director tells you what he wants to tell. But
it goes into like blaxplaining
for a lot of the part. They're open to interpretation. Yeah. You can just take whatever you want to take from a movie, and that'd be the end of it. But we're here to talk about music.
Yeah, we are here to talk about music.
We're here to talk about music. We're not here to talk about movies, even though we
might do a future podcast.
A movie in this best of or favorite 2018 moments.
You couldn't stay on. You couldn't stay on music, could you?
I couldn't. I had to throw in a movie, I guess. But you have your 10 ranked.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about our top albums, and this is like a disclaimer. This is our personal faves. This is not. We're not claiming that these are the best albums that came out. We're just saying these are our personal favorites. Personally, I think mine is in order of like what I've played like the most.
I was gonna say, what's your criteria in ranking these?
My criteria is like what I've played the most, but also it's kind of a mixture. So some of the stuff I have like number 1 that I feel like I haven't played that much, but I think it's just really good art that I feel like should be over the stuff that I've played a lot.
We're kind of on the same page with that because my list is what I've played the most. Yeah. Replay value is huge in music for me. Mm-hmm. The more I play it, I mean, it's just going to be my favorite, obviously. But then there's what do I think is just better than this? And then that's kind of how I ranked mine. I think we kind of have the same criteria for this.
Like I kind of put a list of stuff together, and I'm like, ooh, I loved this, and I kind of put in order of what I played, but then I would look back at the list and I'm like, ooh, no, this project is way better than this, and so that's kind of my criteria for it.
Should we give the people what they came for?
We should give them what they came for.
Our favorite albums of 2018.
Yeah, and
I did not come prepared for this at all, Shayla.
You did come prepared.
You had 10. I have 5.
I thought we agreed on 10, but look, miscommunication
there. I'm sorry.
It happens.
That's on me, honestly.
We're human, but it was harder for you because you have to narrow it to 5.
True. And so, I do have 5 honorable mentions, so I guess take it with what you will.
1 honorable mention, I think. So, all right. So I'm gonna just go over my top 10, and then you'll jump in at 5.
I'll jump in at 5, but yes, give us your 10 through 6.
What do you think my number 10 is? That's kind of hard. That's too broad.
Yeah, there's been a lot of music, and you listen to a lot of music.
I do listen to a lot of music.
Okay.
And I also have summaries with each, like why I picked it.
Okay.
So my top 10 is, drumroll, it is Scorpion, Drake. That's my number 10.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Whoa! No, okay, this is why we held off.
I knew you wouldn't like that.
Well, wait.
We didn't tell. By the way, we didn't tell each other. No, this is like a surprise to both of us.
This is why we did separate doc files.
Yep.
Because we needed these real live reactions.
Yeah.
You picked Scorpion.
As
Drake,
number 10.
At number 10. Okay, I can only imagine you picked this because of replay value.
Yes, not quality. I didn't think about quality at all when I ranked this one.
You picked a long album.
It's a very long album. That's why it's number 10. Because I liked a lot of the songs. Like, I listened to the whole album in its entirety, but I haven't listened to it enough to think about, like, the value of it. But there are a couple songs from the album that I really like.
Okay.
But the length of it I had to put it at number 10.
No, I do too. There are songs that I like. I'm not like Drake hater over here.
Yeah.
Because I actually do like Drake. I mean, looked at my Spotify Unwrapped list. Apparently, everyone has Drake in their top 5. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean, Drake universally liked artist. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he just puts out great melodies that people listen to, and nowadays people are more melodies over lyrics, or they're just about the overall sound, and Drake does a good job of putting out universally liked melodies in his songs. He
did so well with putting out his singles, like In My Feelings. That was a single, right? That was a single off the album.
Yeah.
Like that.
I don't think it was supposed to be until it went viral off The Dance by Shiggy.
But with that album, I thought, I mean, there was like 2 sides to the album.
Yeah,
so
side A, side B.
Right. So with that one, I feel like he kind of gave fans like that old Drake, Oh, she missed the old Drake.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah. So he so with like the melodic tunes on one half of the album and the, the like hard, like
there's the rap, there's the hip hop. It's got the best of both worlds. I feel like Drake fans.
It kind of made it one of my favorites of the year. So number 9.
I feel like this is gonna get more and more just. You can't believe what I have at this
I don't
spot.
know. I don't know.
Okay, number 9.
Number 9. I don't know.
Just sitting back. I'm enjoying this.
Oxnard, Anderson .Paak.
No, yeah. I like this pick.
I said he didn't disappoint with his like anticipated album, produced by Dr. Dre. He touches on a couple things in the album, and I think this, as a person that's a first time listener of Anderson .Paak, I was thoroughly impressed by this album. So I give it a thumbs up. That's my number 9.
Okay, I like Anderson .Paak. I think Malibu is better than Oxnard. I had to give it some thought, but yeah, I do think Malibu is better than Oxnard. But Oxnard, very good album. Number 8.
Number 8.
Okay.
Lady Masego.
Oh, okay.
He continues to show us like how talented he is with his music. I feel like he's the only artist today that can mix jazz, like R&B and hip hop, like so smoothly together. And I think he's just a really talented artist, and I really like his music. And when I went back the other day, I just like went through all of my top 10 and I just listened to all the albums. I like when you listen to the transitions in his songs, you can definitely tell this album was not just thrown together. Like it was very strategic in how he like placed his music, and I think it's a wonderful album. So I'm excited to see what he has in the future. I think he's definitely underrated also.
No, we have to dedicate a podcast to him. Masego.
For sure.
We talked about this a little bit, but yeah.
I also think he's underrated. So number 7 is KTSE, Tiana Taylor.
Yes.
Or Keep That Same Energy. I said it was easily in my top 10. I feel like I can say that album surprised many people because I feel like not many people knew about her like musical background. For at least from where I stand, a lot of people knew her from like acting. But then when they saw her with Kanye, she did the Fade video, and when she put out her album, it was definitely a shock to me because I was like, whoa. And then that's when I went back and I like listened to her old songs, and I was like, well, she's actually like good, you know?
She's good.
And I remember I was at someone's house and they were like, nobody even knows who Tiana Taylor is. I was like, what the heck? And then I put on Gonna Love Me.
Yeah, let me put on Gonna Love Me.
Yeah, and they definitely changed their opinion after that. I definitely think this album was really underrated. This was one of the most like underrated albums this year. Just not a lot of,
especially in R&B.
Yeah, definitely an underrated album, and I hope
I'm actually mad at
shines
how
bright
underrated
next year.
It is. It's great. Say what you want about Kanye. He produced a great album for Tiana Taylor, and her voice really shines on those beats, and especially on
Kanye is just really
Gonna
talented.
Love Me. Like,
a lot of people said that the record label, Good Music, which is Kanye's record label, right? A lot of people said that they did her dirty because she didn't do a lot of like press. Oh. And so that's why a lot of people don't know about it. But the remix came out, the Wu mix. What was it called? The Wu-Tang?
Yeah, because there's members of Wu-Tang on it.
Yeah. And they recently came out with a video. I don't know if you saw it.
I haven't seen the video.
I kind of like the remix.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I like the original better, but I like the remix as well.
Yeah, we like good remixes. There's not a lot of great remixes out there like there used to be.
The best remix ever in history is I Wanna Be Down featuring Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, and Yo-Yo. Okay, that was like a reach. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's a really good.
Is it not 1-2 Step? That remix?
What is that?
Sierra?
I definitely think people were better at remixes in the 90s. So
no, I think there were better remixes back in the day.
Yeah, not now. It's just like, let's
throw
this person in.
Here's
there.
my acoustic cover on YouTube of just 6ix9ine.
Actually, I have a good remix.
Okay,
never mind.
Should we get back to that?
Anyway, yeah, okay.
We'll dedicate a podcast to remixes and the good, the bad, and the ugly of remixes.
Hey. So my number 6 is Something to Feel, Mac Ayres. So I think this is one of the only albums that I can play like in its entirety without skipping. I feel like we kind of said this in our first podcast. If you listen,
first ever podcast, the first official podcast was dedicated to Mac Ayres. Go back and listen.
I feel like he just finds a way to capture you with his voice without his voice being the dominant factor in the music. And his smooth instrumentals and his captivating voice make him one of my favorite artists. Not my favorite artist, but one of my favorite artists. And I say his music is like very like it's a vibe. Like DJ Khaled would say, it's a vibe.
No, it's a great album. I'll get back to it later.
So my number 5.
Wink. All right, now we're at the number 5. Now I can join in the conversation because now you'll go number 5, I'll go number 5, and then that's how we'll go.
My number 5 is KOD. Which is J. Cole.
Oh, okay. KOD, J. Cole.
I really like this album.
I almost put it like in a list on my file, but
on my Spotify thing, J. Cole was my number 2 artist because this was actually the first year I've actually I recently got into music, but this was the first this year at the beginning of the year I was so into J. Cole. I was like, oh man, like he's so good. I was like, oh, it's not surprising that he came out with in my opinion, one of the best albums of the year. I don't think he was nominated for any Grammys. Shame on that. His highly anticipated album touches on several topics, with the main topic being drug use, using drugs as like a coping mechanism.
And it came at a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I think this album from J. Cole is probably going to hold more weight than his other albums.
Mm-hmm. And
that makes it one of the more important J. Cole albums he's ever released, because others he raps well, he provides substance. I mean, but I think this in 2018 came at a great time because we've seen drug use and the effects of drug use throughout the year. Yeah, for sure.
With that, who died?
And Mac Miller died of cocaine, and then But there were multiple instances, I can't name them right now, but there were multiple instances where we've seen the effects of drug use. Yeah. And I think J. Cole put out a timely album with KOD.
And he's just like a storyteller, you know, like he's so good at his craft.
Also, shout out to him for stepping out of a comfort zone in a way by using trap beats to his advantage with ATM or Motivate. Oh, I said Elevate. Drake on the mind.
That's interesting you say that because
Motivate, yeah.
Like in 1985. No, what am I still thinking? Yeah,
1985, where he calls out, it's a Lil Pump diss, it's a mumble rap diss.
In that song, I think it's that song where he says that people are using trap beats now, and it's like not his like. He has a line in that song that says something about trap beats, and I'm just glad you brought it up. Yeah. So
that was number 5 for you in your favorite.
Number 5. Yeah, and I also said he's like one of my favorite rappers now.
All right, my number 5. I can finally join in the conversation.
Which is your worst, right? Mine was at 10. Yours is at 5.
So this number 5 on my favorite albums of 2018 came on very late for me. In this month, actually. So I don't know if I'm being reactionary or recency bias. But I think when I kind of ranked my albums, it was replay value. It was, art. Mm-hmm. This one kind of falls into more of the art range. Mm-hmm. And my favorite albums kind of dominate a period in the year for me. So like, this is what I'm listening to like this month, or like my favorite from this month. Mm-hmm. And it kind of puts me in a place. Number 5, Tierra Whack. Whack World.
Holy whoa.
Okay, let me explain.
Wait.
Let me explain.
I didn't even know you listened to that.
I know.
What the heck, man?
So you
can't be dropping bombs on me like
you
this.
You subtly introduced me to Tierra Whack because you mentioned her a few times while in our conversations. Like you like, oh yeah, Tierra Whack, and you're listening to these artists. And I'll be like, oh, Tierra Whack. Okay, yeah, Tierra Whack.
Yeah.
So I listened to Tierra Whack.
Oh man.
Are you mad at me?
I'm not mad. I'm just like so surprised. Like
this album is, I love short albums, right? This album is 15 tracks, but guess what? It's 15 minutes.
Yep.
Each track is 1 minute.
She was also nominated for a Grammy.
Is she really?
Yeah, for her best music video for her song Mumbo Jumbo.
Okay.
Which I have listened to the song, but I haven't seen the video.
But Tierra Whack World, 15 tracks, but only 15 minutes because each track is 1 minute. I think this album is new. It's refreshing. It's something I haven't heard before in this age of 2-minute SoundCloud songs. Obviously, this isn't SoundCloud or whatever, but she uses so many styles in pretty much every song, and that's impressive where you can go 15 tracks, use multiple styles, and still hold my interest, where I could have shut this off after 7 minutes and said, I don't really care for this. But like holding my interest for those 15 tracks where you're doing something almost different in every track is impressive. And so this, like, I feel great about putting this one on my favorite albums of 2018. It just feels new. It feels refreshing. It feels like something I haven't heard before, but it also uses style that I've heard before. I don't know.
She's definitely unique.
It's a delight. Tierra Whack World.
It is. And it's not like regular songs, it's not like
there's no formula to them.
Yeah.
Or anything. There's no structure. It's just sounds like she just made what she wanted to make, and it was like, all right, y'all, either you like it or you don't. And I have to put it at my number 5. Came on very late for me.
Lewis surprises me every day.
I told you, I think this is the one that I was going to surprise you on.
So my number 4 is Whack World.
Is it? Okay. There we go. We agree.
Yeah. So it's in
top 5.
Yes, definitely top 5. Mine is 4. Tierra Whack.
I'm not much of a stan.
So one day I was like, I'm gonna tell you how I kind of like came up upon her real quick. One day I was watching a YouTuber, and she was just saying how like she was talking about like some celebrity beef or whatever. She's like, I'm so tired of these mainstream artists, and she just kind of was like, oh, I'm listening to these artists now. So she mentioned Tierra Whack, and I was like, okay, I'll go check her out. And honestly, when I listened to the album, I played her album every day for about 4 weeks straight. And it's so easy to play because it's 15 minutes. I'm like in the shower. I'm just like,
it's a SpongeBob episode.
Yeah, it's so like, oh man, like that album. Like I don't want to say changed my life. That's weird, but it did. But the brevity of the album can be, to me, it can be like, I think the brevity of the songs can be frustrating, but then I just play the album over again. And that's what I love about it. Playability. Like you said, like I can play this thing over and over again. Like I don't even get tired of this. Like she was for people who have Spotify, you know, they do 2018 Wrapped, where it shows
mentioned it a couple times
your
already.
top artists, and my top artist was Tierra Whack, and one of her songs on the album was my top song that I played like this year, and I love her. She introduced Janelle Monáe at the Billboard like Women in Music Awards or whatever, and she definitely gives me Janelle Monáe like vibes, like with her creativity. If you see the video, she's super like talented and creative. Like she's dope. I never used that word before, but she's amazing, and I'm excited to see like how like she actually had like a 9 to 5, like she was a bellhop or something.
There's hope.
I know she's
There's
so.
hope. No.
She's just like a normal person, but she's so good.
Man, it's so creative. Like
it's very
you said,
creative.
This album offers something new to the genre of either hip hop or R&B. It's versatile. Like this album's so versatile.
Yep.
Like I said, so many styles. It's so versatile. I love it. It's my number 5 and your number 4.
Yeah, my number 4. And then Noname, you know Noname.
Mm-hmm.
He did like a remix to one of her songs. And I don't know if he dropped it yet, but I saw he put like a video on Twitter for like him teasing, like in the studio, like with the beat, and I was like, oh my god,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Should I get to my number 4?
Yeah, get to your number 4.
Okay, we do this podcast because we have similar taste in music.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Mac Ayres, Something to
Okay.
Feel.
I think you just want to be like me. So.
No, we did. I swear we didn't look at our files.
Yeah, we didn't.
Because
I hid it in a separate folder, so he couldn't find it.
And I did a separate folder last night at midnight. You know,
I did mine.
Best time to do it. You know, it's just
I did mine last week. So
yeah, okay.
I did, but I was on the toilet. So,
but I was like, it's midnight. I feel energized. Like I feel good. I feel ready to like be in a creative zone.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, let me just throw all of my favorite 2018 moments, albums, whatever. But Mac Ayres really dominated a 2 to 3 month period for me, especially during the semester.
Oh, damn.
Where his music is so easy to listen to. We've talked about it in the first podcast. I don't want to say too much because I want you all to listen to that one.
Go back and listen to that.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing?
We're not going to repeat it.
So Mac Ayres, Something to Feel. It's easy to listen to. Like you said, it's a great blend of vocal to instrumental. For the playability of it, number 4 on my favorite albums of 2018.
For sure. Mac Ayres is that guy.
That guy.
Like, for me...
He should be that guy. He only has like 5,000 followers on Twitter.
we added another one.
We don't measure success on your follower count on social media.
But the thing that sucks is that these artists that are like putting out good music are not going to be the ones getting Grammys. Because of they're not that popular. Like you saw, I don't know if you saw this tweet by Noname. You probably haven't. But somebody was like, oh man, I can't wait till you get a Grammy. And she's like, I'm not going to get a Grammy. And somebody was like, you are though. She's like, no.
These award shows are mainly a popularity contest. So I don't
Post Malone, come on.
I don't put a lot
Album
of stock.
of the year.
I don't put a lot of stock into the award shows, even though we're probably going to dedicate an entire episode to the Grammys.
We're going to talk about it.
Number 3.
Oof.
I'm interested.
It's for me it's drum roll. No, I'm just joking. Okay. It's Room 25, Noname.
Okay.
You thought it'd be higher? Did you even think it would be on there?
I knew it'd be on here. I knew it'd be on there. I knew. Because I mean, first off,
you probably can even I feel like you can guess my last two, honestly.
A genius, we dedicated the genius of Noname.
Yeah.
Which will be out later. But we dedicated an entire podcast to Noname and her brilliance.
Yeah, I said,
and especially in this album, Room 25.
Oh yeah, I said it was easily like in my top 5. I mean, I love Noname. Telephone is. Can we just say how good Telephone is? Like I listened to it again yesterday or the other day, and I just love Noname. She definitely didn't disappoint with this album. I think it did take a couple listens to like really get into it, but I definitely by like the 3rd listen I was like, okay, this is.
But that's what makes it, I think, makes you appreciate it more. The fact, you obviously don't want to work for things when you want to just enjoy them.
Yeah.
But the fact that I had to put like some work into it, it made it more rewarding in a way.
Yeah.
To fully appreciate the album, and I don't know. I really like this album. I won't tell you where it is. Is it in the honorable mentions? Is it in my favorite albums? I won't tell you.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
But like, just lyrically, she's a genius, you know? Like, oh man, you know, we talk about it in her third episode, which isn't out yet, but she is just, oh my god, like,
a little preview right here of the
yeah, I mean, she's just like a lyrical genius. Like, I think she's headed to GOAT status. Maybe not.
I think she's ascending.
Because
I've seen this album on multiple best of lists. So I've seen this album appear on those lists. Mm-hmm. So I think she's kind of ascending and ascended herself with Room 25.
Honestly, I feel like after this, you can probably guess my top 2.
Yeah, I probably could, but we'll save it. The suspense. You could probably guess you won't guess my number 3. You want my number 3? Vince Staples' FM.
You told me to listen to him.
I did tell you to listen to him. But Vince Staples' FM is one of the more fun albums I've listened to. It's short. It's like 22 minutes. I'm a fan of short albums. Mm-hmm. But Vince Staples' FM, it's 22 minutes in length. It's recorded. All the songs, they flow together because it's like a radio broadcast of Big Boy's Neighborhood. Mm. So it fits the style of radio, but it's an album and you can stream it and all the songs flow together. And this album's so fun. One of the songs is on my standout songs of the year. Obviously, each of these albums are going to have like a standout song of the year. But I mean, this album's easy to listen to. It's playable and offers something new. I mean, this is what I'm all about this year, is when it comes to either movies or music, where I feel like I'm offered something new, like I haven't heard or seen before. And like, I just need to appreciate these moments where I'm like blind spotting. I'm like introduced to something new. Like Blind Spotting had the use of rap without it being about rap, or the plot of it being about rap. Like, I think that was something that was offered new in Blind Spotting, where they use rap without like making it a thing in the like being about rap. But Vince Staples' FM, super fun, easy to listen to, and the lyrics are great, the songs are great. Go listen to it. It's my number 3 on my favorite albums of 2018. I'll
have to go back and listen.
I'll get my number 2 right now before we go into number 2. Right. Noname, Room 25.
Wait, why'd you give you what? I didn't hear what you just said, but
it's my number 2. Noname, Room 25.
And then I already know what number 1 is.
And we were on it. Yeah, you probably do.
Don't say it. But
yeah, I won't say it. I'll the suspense of the podcast.
Since you just said your number 2, you might.
What's your number 2?
Well, you might as well explain your number 2, or did we just already talk about it?
Noname, Room 25. I guess listen to the pod. You kind of already heard it, but I will say we did talk about this on the podcast about Noname. Her background in writing, poetry.
She's a poet.
It shines on this album. You can easily tell that. I mean, she just knows what she's doing when she's writing, and when she's putting together words or sentences or thoughts, she knows what she's doing and creative with it. So, yeah, number 2, Noname, Room 25. Number 2, LaShayla.
I want you to guess.
I'm not gonna guess.
Why?
I'm not gonna guess. I want to just in case I'm surprised.
Okay, you're not gonna be surprised. I promise. Okay. Hive Mind, the internet.
I knew it. I was thinking earlier today. I was like, LaShayla's gonna have the internet on her favorite albums because I remember Hive Mind was released this year.
Yeah. So the internet, if you don't know, now you know. They are like my favorite. They're the only band I listen to. Maybe not the only. Yeah, probably the only band I listen to. And I love them. I was supposed to see them, but things happened.
Life.
Yeah, life be happening. So at one point, like Tierra Whack, I was listening to this album like 3 times a day, like every day. I was like listening to it like in the shower, while I was in the shower, like walking to class, after school, like working on my project. Like, I don't know. This is also one of the only albums that I can just play like in its entirety. Mm-hmm. And it's so weird because I've honestly just got into the internet this year, and they have. So far I've only listened to I've listened to all their projects, but I like this project the most. I don't know. Just it's a lot different than it's not a lot different from, I would say, from what's the other one?
I'm blanking on it too.
The one that came out, their third studio album that came out, the one that everybody knows, with Girl. Like
you know that one.
You know that album. You looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. We got the internet up.
The internet.
The internet. Feel Good or Ego Death?
Ego Death. I think that album got him a Grammy nomination. I don't know if they won a Grammy, but I know it got him a Grammy now.
Okay, yeah,
but that, I mean, so I really liked Ego Death, and then Hive Mind came out, and I was just like, oh my god. Like,
you were ready for the album too.
Yeah, I was ready, and I was like, could it get better? It did get better. And the thing is, like, with some of the songs, I wasn't, like, Come Over, which was their first single off the album. I actually wasn't into it. Same thing with La Di Da, which is the second single off the album, I think. And I just was not into the song at first, but then, like, I listened to it a couple times, and then I just kept listening to it. Mm-hmm. Like, I just couldn't stop listening to it. Like, I just love the internet, and I'm gonna see them one day. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Nothing's gonna get in my way. Not even school, not finals, not nothing. Like, I'm gonna see them one day. I have to see them. Like,
I knew the internet would be on the list.
Yeah,
I didn't know where it would rank though. So number 2, we have the same number 1, don't we?
I know we have the same.
We have this Saba, Care for Me.
We should have said it at once. Care for Me. Okay, let me tell you a story about Care for Me. The other day I was listening to it, and I was standing outside in the back. Just the wind was blowing, and I was listening to Prom King, right, which is like, and that. The storytelling part of his basically his death, and I was crying, and I don't think I've ever cried listening to an album before. It really? No, music has never really like touched me like that. Like, this is the first time I'm really diving into music, and that's why I love this podcast, because it forces me or encourages me to like dive into music. But when I was listening to Prom King, I was like, I wasn't like bawling, but I was like, like tearing up, and I was kind of crying, like. Damn, like even when we did the podcast, I feel like there was some of the stuff was still flying over me. I remember like texting you like weeks after we did the podcast, and I was like, whoa, Heaven All Around Me is from the perspective.
Which I did mention.
You did mention, but I forgot, okay? Like, I was like, oh man, Heaven All Around Me is like from the perspective of Walter. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, from the perspective of Walter. But it also could be from Saba. And if you haven't listened to that podcast, you should go listen.
Oh my god, like this one, I described it as like an oral, which means like ears, catharsis, because it's like, I feel like we're just like privileged to like listen to it, because it sounds like it's for him, it's like a diary almost.
He made it for selfish reasons,
right? And it's like I just feel so like lucky to be able to like experience this like album. Like, that's the only album that it really has like, ooh, like, damn.
So for this album, I was kind of low on hip hop throughout the year.
You were what?
I was kind of low on hip hop. I wasn't really.
You were turning up the scissor.
Right? I was like,
the Weeknd.
Where's the good hip hop? Where's good hip hop? That's subjective. But where's the stuff that I enjoy? And then this came in like a breath of fresh air. Where
how did you find out about Saba? That's a good question.
Yeah. Okay, Luciano, you can take credit.
I told him about Saba.
Yeah. Okay, you can take credit. But this is what the podcast is for.
Yeah.
We introduce each other. To
I was like, man, listen to the song Calligraphy.
You said listen to the song Calligraphy, but then I listened to the entire album, and the entire album didn't hit me. I think I was outside as well. I was on a jog. Something about the outdoors and listening to this album.
And that wind, man.
Yeah, something about the wind.
Birds chirping, man.
It all connected to me, the whole album, because I ran for the entire direction. Just a small flex about how much I run.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. And it all connected to me. Every song, it was something different, but also that could connect to people in a way, which I think is special when you make an album for selfish reasons, but it also connects to other people, because that goes back to the two sides of the coin. There's two sides of, quote unquote normal people versus celebrity.
Yep.
Where Saba touches on that. He touches on mental health issue. And what's great about this album it touches on mental health issues where other rappers are kind of scared to talk about mental health issues because maybe it makes them look weak or it doesn't put them in the best of light as in the hip hop community.
But also I would say a lot of rappers aren't really they don't really know how to process things.
Yeah,
I feel like
that was kind of like Saba giving us his whole process of dealing with Walter's death. So this album's great.
So one of the things that I guess I can also credit this podcast to is allowing me to, or forcing me to kind of listen to the lyrics and rap songs. I have to admit that I was one of those people that wanted a vibe, you know, from music. I wasn't really searching for lyrics as much. But when I actually listened to Care For Me, I was just like, some of the lyrics I just caught and I was like, whoa, like he's telling a story, like especially with Prom King. I really like, I just think this is cool. To bring up, it really doesn't have to do with what we're saying, but he was saying how his cousin, it was talking about the day he died, and he was talking about how like his cousin Walter said that he was gonna go and see Fatima, which is Noname. Yeah, if you listen to it, he says, I'm gonna go and like see Fatima, and then we find out he doesn't make it, or his mom, I think his aunt, Saba's aunt, who is Walter's mom, called him, was like, hey, have you heard from Walter? Like this is like, this is like an experience. Like I feel like I was there. Like right. I'm just like sitting there crying, like, damn, where Walter at? Like why he not showing up? You know?
Yeah, it's great. He takes you through the whole process. He was just writing all of his feelings out. And then he takes you along through that process with him, and you can relate to pretty much every aspect that he's going through. And I don't know.
Saba really snapped in this album.
He snapped.
I'm gonna say wig snatched.
Wow. We stand.
I stand. We stand. We all stand for Saba.
Saba, Care For Me is both of our.
Can he top himself with that?
That's hard because he's been releasing some singles which haven't lived up.
Yeah,
to...
he's released like six songs. I listened to like 2 of them and I didn't really like them. But
again, either we're emotional or you know.
But it's also like that the thing that allowed him to create the album was something, you know, we don't want to happen often, right? Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be hard. I think it's gonna be hard to come off of an album where it's really based in like tragedy, you know, and a lot of people tend to create their best music in moments of tragedy, you know, and which sucks. But yeah, it sucks. But like that's what happens, and so he may not reach. I feel like he may not have an album unless another tragedy happens. You know, for hopefully not. But hey, he's still a great artist.
But artists. Well, good artists, and this is where we'll see Saba. Saba's a good artist already because, he's had my favorite album of 2018, so he's a good artist. But what separates artists from, other artists or rappers from other rappers is being in a different position while putting out great art. Mm-hmm. So while, he's not going to be in this, like, mental state that
mourning
and he's not going to be in that state forever, but he can come out with another album that's just, fun to listen to, or like, because he's in a different position, but he can still make great music. So I'm interested to see what Saba's going to do next.
It's really interesting to me how people respond to tragedy, about how like art that's based off of tragedy, about how people like want that more. Like,
right. It's like saying, I loved Eminem when he was drugged out.
Yeah, like one of my favorite musicians right now, Xavier Omar, recently got engaged, and so a lot of people have been sending him messages saying like, "Oh man, now we won't get that sad ass music." Like, and he's just like, "Well, a lot of times when we, he like put a message basically addressing it, saying that he didn't really like that people were sending him those messages, and he was just saying like, sometimes we put out art that." It's reflected on a past time of like pain, it doesn't necessarily have to do with our current state.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just interested in what Saba's going to do next.
Yeah.
And we may not get an album for 2 years, and I'll be perfectly okay with it.
I'll be okay with it.
I'll be okay with it. Just
we have to wait on Frank. Like
we're in this like instant gratification mode where we just want everything like fast,
especially with social media.
So
especially with social media
please
streaming.
take your time. Frank Ocean took 4 years off.
Yeah,
gave us a great album.
J. Cole took time off.
J. Cole took time off.
Not as long, but he took time.
Kendrick is taking time off too.
Oh, really?
He released his most recent album in April of 2017, and we're not getting an album from him.
But then
this
he
year.
Produced a Black Panther soundtrack.
I mean, he'll produce stuff. He'll be in songs. He'll be featured.
Yeah.
He'll make some songs, but a whole album. I mean, we may not see that till 2020 or later, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm patient. oh snap, my mic.
Patience. Okay, so those are our favorite albums.
Those are our favorite albums. I'll give you my honorable mention.
Okay, now we're on to the honorable mentions. I have 5, which I probably could have done a top 10 for, but I just put 5.
Yeah, you could have done a top 10.
I just did a top 10.
So I only have one album for honorable mention, and this is not really like, I wouldn't say it's like the best album, but it's just like one of my favorites, and it's not even an album; it's an EP. So I don't know if it counts. Well, you think you know it?
No, I'm interested.
It's "Stone Woman" by Charlotte Day Wilson.
Oh.
She has a very like nostalgic voice, and in this album, it's a lot, sad breakup songs. She has the voice for that, which I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but she definitely has the voice for just sad and breakup songs. I mean, you probably, I don't know if any of the listeners know of her, but you might know her from Daniel Caesar's song from his Freudian album, Transform. She was in that song. So, I mean, she's one of my favorite voices right now. She's Canadian. I don't know if that doesn't, I don't know what that says, but I feel like Canada has like a lot of up and coming talent. I mean, I say up and coming. We got Justin Bieber, like.
I'm thinking about Freudian.
And Drake.
Freudian. Daniel Caesar.
Yeah.
Makes me wish we would have done a list of 2017.
Ah, right. SZA, Control.
I was looking at all the albums.
There's Control. You got Fruity, and you got her. You got like I was looking at all the
and
music.
Then the Kendrick album release, Tyler the Creator release, and I was like, oh man, I love these albums.
Flower Boy. Oh
Flower
my
Boy's
god, that's one of my
album.
favorite albums. Like I never even like that was one of the first like albums I was like listening to. Like I told you, like I recently got into like newer music, quote unquote, and Flower Boy. I was like, this is good.
Yeah, Flower Boy. I wish we would have done a 2017 list, but I mean, the music we got for 2018 was great as well.
Yeah.
Very innovative. So, should I get to my honorable mentions?
Yeah, you mean
all right.
The rest of your top 10, yeah.
J-Rock, Redemption. I don't know. You know J-Rock
from King's Dead.
Yeah, TDE. The song The King's Dead is on Redemption. I don't know. I feel like this album, J-Rock is a really good artist. I was introduced to him in a Kendrick Lamar featured song, Hood Gonna Love It. It played on my TV. Like the music video just played on my TV. I mean, when was the last time that happened? Like where a music video just plays, but it was weird. I was just flipping through channels. I came across J-Rock. That song was like from 2012.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know the exact time, but J-Rock's Redemption. He came out with that album this year. It has a lot of great features from Kendrick, and it has one or two standout songs of the year for me. And that's why I had to put in my honorable mentions, because the songs really just hit and his voice hits. So J-Rock, Redemption also has SZA on there. Not one of my standout songs, but still a good song from
you stand SZA.
Yeah, it's okay. You made me feel bad for liking SZA. Okay, second honorable mention, Black Panther, the album.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll say this. I don't think I've ever liked an album of a movie. Like this before. It's so great, because I love all the R&B, the soul and the hip hop aspects.
It's a good album.
So Black Panther, the way they put those songs together, it was like, oh, this is all great. I really like this album, and it being part of a movie is great. And Black Panther, the album, is part of that cultural phenomenon that we experienced this year. So just the impact alone that the album is rooted with, I think has to be an honorable mention of 2018.
The album is such a perfect fit to the movie. Like you said, the cultural impact of the movie. I think it's such like a perfect, we get this really black movie and then we get this really black album with these great black artists.
Because in movies, it's a lot of the background music's piano and stuff like that.
I mean, it wasn't honestly, you know, I thought when I was gonna watch the movie, I thought you know, the music was gonna be in the movie, but it wasn't until like it was like in some part. It was just in
like parts here and there,
and then the end
like
credits.
parts of the songs. You know, it's not gonna be incorporated as much as you like.
Yeah, I thought it was like the soundtrack, because, and I was like, oh,
okay. So this album was released before the movie,
Yep.
and to get you excited for
Yeah.
the movie, and it really got me excited because I was picturing like scenes already, like with songs, with parts of songs. I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna run during this song, like you know, fight during this song.
Yeah.
But man, the part it played in the whole culture phenomenon, Black Panther, the album, it has to be an honorable mention. It's not in my top 5, but it has to be up
It's
there.
a good album.
So, all right, Leon Bridges, Good Thing. I feel like he's a little bit more traditional R&B artist.
He was nominated for a Grammy.
Leon Bridges.
I think so.
And he has one of my standout songs of the year, and a song I played like, I can't tell you how many times. And going back to the 2018 Spotify Unwrapped, I listened to 25,000 minutes of music.
I listened to like 40-something thousand.
Yeah, I'm not on your level. I listened to 25,000, and Leon Bridges' Good Thing has to be a good majority of those.
I listened to 45,861.
Okay, so small flex.
And they said my like genre was indie R&B.
How fitting.
Whatever.
Whatever. Add me next time. Okay. Next honorable mention. Anderson .Paak, Oxnard.
Oh.
Didn't make the
honorable
top 5.
mention.
Didn't make the top 5.
Oh.
I feel like this album, if you took off left to right, it would have been number like 3.
Did it really? It really? That song really like drug it down that much. Left to right, left to right.
It just come on. It wasn't a great song.
Yo,
but Oxnard, still a great.
He's another person that's like on my bucket list to see.
It has great music on there, from Tense to Brothers Keeper to
yeah.
Anywhere. It has 2 of my standout songs of the year. Anderson .Paak,
Cheers.
Oxnard, and I mean, Cheers. He's one of my favorite artists out right now. I just love Anderson .Paak. I'm not afraid,
but not that much to put him on your top 5 list.
But not that much to put him in my top 5. He gets the honorable mention, and he's grouped with my last.
What if he listens to this? He's like, what are you doing, man?
You can't rank art anyway. All right.
It's like, no Lord. Okay.
My last honorable mention. You're probably gonna hate me for it, but that's okay.
I'm scared.
I really did enjoy listening to this album.
I'm scared now.
You're gonna hate this big. The Carters, Everything Is Love.
Oh, I'm not gonna hate that.
I love the collaboration between Beyonce and Jay-Z. I'm a sucker for it. And
you
this
like I
album,
love a good hetero love story.
this album really kind of puts the best parts of each of them, especially when it opens with Summer with Beyonce's vocals, and then I was like, that's all I want at this point. Yeah. Like, I don't need a Jay-Z verse, but you know, the Jay-Z verse comes in and it's good. But then there's songs where where Jay-Z shines, and then there's one song where Beyonce shines, and they complement each other so well. Like, I don't know, I had a lot of fun enjoying. I had a lot of fun listening to this album. I really enjoyed it.
Honestly, I was scared you were gonna be like, I was scared you were gonna say like Sweetener. Or
Sweetener, I knew it. I was gonna say, you probably think I'm gonna say Sweetener, right?
I was like scared. I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah, no, it was the Carters. Everything Is Love.
All right, so
short and sweet, by the way.
Yeah, so I haven't really listened to that. I listened to a couple songs like when it first came out, but I remember like kind of playing some of the songs and not really getting into them. But I've never really been into Beyonce as much. I think she's an amazing vocalist. I think she's an amazing performer. I think she's the queen of the world. But I don't know, her music just doesn't hit.
That's kind of how the conversation we had about Janelle Monáe, where it's like we hate that we're not into it as much as we think we should be.
But I definitely think she's a genius, you know?
Right. Like, we could still appreciate
her music,
the genius of Janelle Monáe.
Yeah. We might even do a podcast, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is what
be more technical,
about, where we explore and like we're
both exploring
and challenge ourselves like with music. So, I mean, we might just have to sit through Janelle Monáe's album
for sure
for either like another month or another 2 months, and then it finally clicks. Like, albums have that thing where it clicks, like, and that's some of the cases with this.
Care for Me was my number 1 album, and it didn't click until like yesterday.
Noname Room 25 is my number 2. That didn't click. Like,
you told me you listened to it, and you were like,
and I was like, I kind of understand why it's not.
Yeah, you're like I hate this album. I'm just joking. You didn't say that.
I didn't. Come on, give me some
But you
credit.
did say you understand why it's not as like popular.
Yeah, but then I'm like, oh, why isn't this more popular? Yeah. I flipped that way. But the Carters, Everything Is Love, is my last honorable mention.
So I have a top 10 list of my songs.
Okay, before we get to song, or should we do the songs and then my special mentions? Should I just run through my special mentions?
Yeah, what are special mentions?
Special mentions are like the moments of 2018.
Yeah, I guess let's take an intermission.
I have like 3 that I want to mention.
Yeah, let's talk.
So let's just take a little break because we talked about our albums,
music,
and the honorable mentions, and of course some of the songs from those albums. Not all of the songs that we have are from our favorite albums, right?
The songs?
Yeah, the songs. They're not all from the albums.
Oh, yeah. Some of these songs don't even have an album.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they're not from my favorite albums. I'm not even going to lie.
Right. And so I just want to briefly mention, I don't know if you have any reactions to these.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
The 7-song albums. You know I'm a sucker for short albums.
Yeah.
And Good Music released a string that they had that run of 7-song albums, whereas Nas released Nasir. Which I wish I would have liked more, but that's okay. Nasir, Tiana Taylor, keep that same energy. Pusha T, Daytona, which I'm surprised that isn't on my list somewhere in honorable mentions or whatnot, because
I have not listened to that.
I understand what that album does. So Pusha T, Daytona, Kid Cudi, Kids See Ghost.
You see I hear so many things about Kid Cudi, and I tried to listen to.
I'm very on and off with him.
I tried to listen to one of his most streamed songs that's on Spotify, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't remember. It was from his like first album.
Oh, okay, yeah. Kid Cudi, Kids See Ghosts. That so special mention to the 7-song albums that were released this year, because it's like they knew it was right up my alley of just short.
Oh
albums.
yeah, let's make this all for Lewis.
Yeah, that's what
There's
Kanye
somebody
and company
in Louisiana
thought.
named Lewis, and we have to.
He loves short albums.
It's
great. Other special mention of 2018, Jacquees and LMA Trip Beef.
So we're talking about also for the people that are like special mentions, I would say special moments, like special like hip hop, R&B, like just things that have been happening this year, like that's been in the Twitterverse or on the social medias. But yeah. This beef, is it really a beef though? Like they weren't really beefing. It wasn't. It was more so social media just kind of hyping it up, like, oh, this is better, and then LMA is just like
had it taken down.
Yeah.
That's what got really people going when she took.
And then Jack was just like, I'm the king of R&B now.
Yeah. Well, that's another conversation. That's another part. We just have like 4 episode ideas on this podcast already.
We're like, that's another podcast.
Yeah, that's another. We have to spend another hour and a half on that, but. Special shout out to LMA and Jacquees, because I guess that was a fun moment to experience, for sure, or just be in that moment of.
I mean, there was a DJ who put out a version where he put both of their vocals on the song, and it sounded really good together. If they collaborated,
guess what? They can both exist, and that's okay.
Exactly. Like you don't have to have one or the other.
Yeah, people love to do that.
Yeah, king of R&B head ass.
I have a controversial opinion on this as well.
Oh.
I think LMA's is better.
Oh.
I like LMA's version of Trip more than I like Jacquees' version of Trip.
He's like, I gotta remember my gun on same thing.
That sprinkling the ooey is like parsley.
Oh god.
Yeah. I like LMA's. It's clean. It brings me back to like an older time of early 2000s R&B almost. Like I don't know. It kind of brings me back in a sense to that.
I'm glad you brought that.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. A lot of people try to do the whole like who's the new face of R&B like with women, and they're like LMA, but honestly a lot of people say like her music is like redundant. It's like
it is her album. I wanted to like her album. I didn't like it.
I don't know, she just not putting out good music,
but it's just like on the back of Boot Up, which is okay.
Boot Up is alright. It's not even.
It's
it
okay,
just blew up.
But like on the back of Boot Up and on the back of Trip, then she releases an album, and like, oh, we're all looking forward to this, and it just doesn't live up to like the hype of those 2 songs, or like the expectations of those 2 songs.
I don't even know any of the songs on her album.
Okay, so my last moment of 2018 has to be Drake and Pusha T.
Ooh.
Rap beef, very harsh, by the way.
I recently watched that. Was it a Genius video? Basically describing their like beef. No, was it? No, it was Kanye and Drake's beef. Because I didn't know they had a beef, but apparently it goes back super far.
Yeah. For this beef, it brought back like rap beef, like what you're not used to hearing.
Yeah.
A lot of like hip hop disses are subliminal and they're not direct.
Yeah.
This is very direct, very in your face, and also not holding anything back.
Yeah.
Which you can view as problematic or whatever, but you know it. I don't know. It did.
He wasn't hiding his kid from the world.
He was hiding the world from his.
What
was it?
He wasn't hiding the world from his kid. He was hiding his kid from the world.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, whatever.
And I was watching. You know, he did that like barbershop talk with LeBron James, and then he said like, people were saying that he should have done like a diss track, but he said that he did it and he didn't like it, so he was just like, I'm gonna just wait for the album. And I guess in the album, he kind of just like admitted everything. He's like, yeah, I have a child now. And
well, I can't remember who said this, but this felt like Drake was defeated for the first time, where it was like, how can he come back from this? Mm-hmm. But I mean, you kind of figured Drake was just going to keep doing Drake, and then people were just going to keep loving Drake, despite of what was said in the rap beef. But I have to give a special mention to that rap beef. Also, you said Drake and distracting right before we recorded, right? And I was like, oh, wait, I have those 2 words on my doc file. All right, so special mention to Drake distracting from his deadbeat dadness with whisper ad-libs. Okay, so this is a packed sentence. Like, there's a lot going on in the sentence that I typed out. Okay, so Drake has been doing this thing in his songs recently, or in his features, where he'll whisper as his ad-libs. He's like, out like a light, hey, yeah, like a light, hey, yeah. So, and people have been loving it. People are like, oh man, it's like great. Even I like it. Like, who would have thought we would have liked a whisper ad-lib? So he's been doing these like whisper ad-libs. He's like on nonstop. He's like, I just flipped the switch. Flip. Yeah, you like so like he's been doing the whisper ad-libs. Yeah. And this has been like, it's like such a great distraction, and like almost like a distraction almost in his music. I enjoy the whisper ad-libs. So special mention to the whisper ad-libs from Drake.
Also, shout out to him admitting that he had a child when he could have just like ignored that whole thing. Yeah.
He addressed it head on, despite he was going to use his son for an Adidas ad run.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait.
That's what Pusha T said in his song.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I don't...
Like, Drake was going to roll out... He was going to reveal his son to the world in an Adidas ad.
Oh, you know what I recently... Okay. This was something... I mean, this is kind of like a... I guess this is more going into like hip-hop, pop culture, whatever. You know, recently Cardi B and Offset... you know, they recently split. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but...
special mention to Cardi B for having a huge year.
Oh, yeah, she had a big year. Invasion of privacy. I mean, she had a child. Like, whoa. She was the first person to headline Rolling Out, which, you know...
Well, she had a big 2018, so like for that, it has to be a moment that Cardi B.
But yeah, so, you know, recently she announced that they split, and... You know, Offset's been doing a lot of public displays of affection, trying to win her back. But I forgot what I was about to say.
Y'all won.
No, I'm trying to remember what I was about to say, though. Like, I honestly forgot.
Really? With the recent split?
And
Offset wanting her back. Such a beautiful love story happening.
What were we just talking about?
We need that family to stay together.
Oh, F that. No, I honestly forgot what I was about to say, but...
We can always edit it out, right?
I mean, yeah.
Keep it. It's human.
But you were kind of just talking about, like, big hip-hop moments. Mm-hmm. And I guess that was kind of one, because, I mean, it wasn't a huge shocker that they were going to split up. It was kind of inevitable. I mean, the whole, like, relationship just kind of seemed like something that was good for publicity, and then they got a kid out of it. Same thing with Quavo and Saweetie, who's an up-and-coming, like, rapper. She came out with that song, Icy. And, but yeah, it was kind of inevitable. You know, there's been like a whole like debate on Twitter about like, you know, what is like Offset crashing her set. You saw that?
I didn't see it.
What? Okay.
I didn't see it.
Oh man. Okay. So Offset, she was the first woman, I think, to like be the front like liner or whatever of rolling out like their whatever they had, and he before her set starts, he rolls out these flowers that says "Take Me Back, Cardi," and walks on the stage with flowers, and he's like, "Hey, bro," he says, "Hey, bro."
How romantic.
And then he says something. He's like, "Man," he's like, "I'm sorry, bro." Like he says, "Bruh," and she just looks pissed. Like she just looks like she's like so over it, and she asked him to leave. He leaves, and a lot of people have just been like arguing. Especially, it's been mainly between like heterosexual cishet men on Twitter versus women or like queer people. Like just saying like, you know, it's been like this battle because a lot of men are seeing it as like, oh, this is like romantic and this is like this huge display of affection. But a lot of people are putting in the context of what if she was what if she had like a normal 9 to 5 and he just, you know, went into her workspace to like, first of all, he took a moment that was hers and made it about himself. He made it about him having this grand gesture instead of going to her privately or giving her time to even cope with what is going on by like, he's not respecting her space. If you really love her, you would respect her. And also, if you really loved her, you wouldn't embarrass her publicly. I mean, come on. So
I guess you could call it an invasion of privacy.
Oh,
sorry, that was bad. That was bad. No, a lot of people. I'm team keep it private. Like that's a private moment. That's an intimate moment that needs look.
And then also afterwards, he went and he like it was his birthday. So afterwards, he went and he like partied at the club with like a crown or something.
It's such a crutch to do it publicly because it's like, oh, she has to say yes because it's in front of other people.
Exactly.
Like that's like proposing at a sport game because like they have to say yes. In there. Yeah, it's a pressure.
A lot of people have been like, a lot of the men are like, oh, you need to give him a break, like take him back. And then a lot of people are saying that's emotional abuse in a way because, and you know, when we hear abuse, I feel like we think, oh, like super violent. But a lot of people are calling emotional abuse. Because it is in a way, this is in a public platform, and you're taking the narrative, and you're controlling the narrative, you know, at this situation. Like when you decide to cheat and embarrass her publicly, you lost all rights to the narrative. But by publicly pressuring her to take you back, and not only that, you have other celebrities, other rappers saying, "Oh, take Cardi back," like putting it on Instagram. You have 21 Savage, was like had the crowd. You know, chant, take me back or whatever. Like that is publicly like you're pressuring her to, and it's making her look like the bad person when you have all these people agreeing with you, you know? And it's just, it is a form, I think it's kind of manipulative and it is kind of like a form of emotional abuse. And I just, honestly, I wish she just had the freedom to do whatever she wanted, regardless of how we felt about it, you know? Because at the end of the day, going back to celebrity mental health is like, you know, you have these people, she had to make a post on Instagram telling people not to make death threats or not to, she's like, I don't want anything bad. This is the father of my child. She said baby father, but like, you know, she's like, this is my baby father. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to him. And people not understanding that, reading that as, oh, she's going to take him back. But it's like, that's the father of her child. I mean, that's like family to her, you know? Like he did this bad thing to her, yes, but that shouldn't affect the relationship he has with his child. And it just goes back to fans inserting themselves into people's business that we see what we see, but we don't know what's going on between them.
We don't know. And that's almost like Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce, but they stayed together and they kind of mentioned it was like, oh, we can't split this family apart. Like, I mean, of course we still love each other. Now kids are involved and stuff like that. So like we need to stay together, and also we do want to stay together.
We have to have a podcast on that.
Yeah, we do.
Because I have some ideas on that too.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like 5 podcast ideas. We should have been writing these down. But yeah, those are the moments of 2018.
Moments. Now we're getting to songs.
Now let's end the podcast with songs of the year, and then the closing thoughts, I guess. I don't think much is dropping the rest of the year. I don't think.
I mean, I don't know.
You know what? All we want is right here.
Yeah.
We got it already. All right. So standout songs of the year. I don't know how you want to do this.
I think we should go individually. Like we should have each of our lists. And
so you want to go? You want to go first?
Yeah. I think we. Or you can go first. It doesn't matter. I can go. Okay, I'll go.
You can go first. Wait, you have like 30 songs, right?
No, I only have 10.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, I have 10, and then I have 5 honorable mentions that didn't make the list, but are still one of my favorite songs, some of my favorite songs of the year.
Okay, and this will be made into a playlist.
Yes. Okay, so make sure y'all check that out. Like, keep an eye out. We will get a list of our favorite songs that we're about to mention, and we're gonna make a playlist, and y'all can listen to it and jam, be like us, whatever.
This is going to be the best playlist on Spotify
ever in the world.
All right.
So number 10.
I did. Wait, is it bad I didn't rank these?
You didn't write those?
No, I didn't.
Do you know
them.
it?
I don't know it. I'm so sorry.
So, do you have an idea of have an idea of your top 3?
Okay. Number 10 for you.
Number 10. I don't know if you know this one, but it's One Night Only by Sonder. Wait, you have to listen because you have to react to it.
Okay.
So, I've played this song for you, and you told me how you don't really care for Brent Faiyaz's voice, how it's not really. And people have said, somebody tweeted that his voice sounds like when you're playing, the radio and you just cut it off and, somebody keeps singing. That's what they say his voice sounds like. And I think he puts out good music.
No, yeah. I mean, okay. I can
not
see,
everybody
I
has
can
to have
the good music, but it's not like we all have to have the same taste or,
Not everybody has to have, even SZA. SZA doesn't have the best singing voice, but she put out good music. So my number 9 is How Deep Is Your Love, PJ Morton from his album Gumbo Unplugged Live, featuring Yebba, and I just played that for Lewis.
You just showed me.
Yeah.
You just showed me that.
That is my number 9 song. It could be higher. My number 8 is Friends by J. Cole, which I think is off his album KOD. At first, my favorite song off the album was Kevin's Heart. I played that song so much, too much.
Yeah, but now.
But Friends, I definitely think is probably my favorite song off the album. My number 7 is The Evils by Sir.
Oh, yes. That released this year.
Yeah, November.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the name of the album.
Yeah.
From his album November, which was released in January, I think.
Did not make your list.
It didn't. It should have been honorable mention, though. But also, I listened to the album. I didn't really like it. I just like that song.
Mm-hmm. That's a great song, though. I've been listening to it more and more.
So my number 6, and he also has some good collabs with Masego. Anyway, so my number 6 is Tense. Anderson .Paak.
Oh, Feel Good. A little Feel Good song.
From his album Oxnard, which we know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like you said, it's a feel good song. It's pretty up tempo. And it makes me when I hear it, I'm feeling kind of good though. Okay, anyway.
No, okay, I wanted to mention this. Sorry, we're probably going to get a little off here.
It's fine.
But what's the best situation or scenario where you want to listen to music? Is it walking to class? Is it in the shower? What's your favorite scenario or situation to listen to music in?
That's a good question.
Because I love walking somewhere and listening to music. For
me, it's in an environment where I can probably sing out loud because I like to sing. Yeah. But not in front of people. I mean, I do. I mean, I hum in front of people, but for me, it's most likely.
It's in my car driving.
That or when I'm home alone, nights like this, when I'm home alone, my roommate's not here, I'm probably blasting music on my speaker, and I'm just singing with my dog. If you look in the living room, I have a whole microphone that I just I'm just singing. Those are probably the best situations, but there are songs where I imagine situations. Tense is one of those songs where I just imagine I'm just driving. It's a sunny day. Mm-hmm. I have the top down.
Yeah, man.
I live in California or something.
Transport you.
Stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, for me, it's when I'm home alone.
Yeah, I think mine's driving
at night.
Yeah, it has to be at night. And
then I listen to podcasts when I'm taking showers for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that too. It's okay. I get embarrassed when an embarrassing thing comes on, and I'm I was listening to Tiana Taylor's album, right? Yeah. Keep that same energy. Then the part comes on where she starts moaning. Yeah. And I was in the shower. Paige was in the other room. Yeah. I was like, no. Whenever I used to... It's not what you think, Paige. It's just a song.
She's like, bye. Thank you, next.
No. Okay, so... We had to say it, I guess.
So, I forget what I was about to say.
No, you hit... See, that's what happens when you reference Ariana Grande.
Yeah. Damn it. I was supposed to say something so profound, too.
Really?
I don't know.
And you settled for Thank You Next? Should we move on to your 5?
We were talking about music, but damn it. I wanted to say, okay. So my number 5 is Hungry Hippo by Tierra Whack. from her album Whack World, which is probably, this was actually on my Spotify thing. This was my number one song that I listened to this year.
The best 1 minute of your life.
Yeah, the best 1 minute ever that I just have to keep playing it. So yeah, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to the album. So my number 4 is Gonna Love Me, Tiana Taylor, KTSE.
Oh, so easily the best song on that album.
It is. My top 3 songs on the album are Gonna Love Me, Issues, Hold On, and Three Way. And for some reason, I just really like Three Way, and I can't relate, but it's
not at all.
I just like the song. Like I just like the bass. I think Ty Dolla $ign was a really great feature on the song, even though I didn't like his verse.
Well, Ty Dolla $ign's best on features.
He is good on features.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know any Ty Dolla $ign.
That's a moment.
Besides like Paranoid. Like that's the only Ty Dolla $ign song I know.
2018 was a big year for Ty Dolla $ign features.
And Jail. Sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, take R. Kelly instead.
Okay.
So
that was your number 3.
My number 3 is Come Over the Internet.
Okay.
Hive Mind, from the album Hive Mind. We all know I love the internet.
Took you a little bit for the song.
It did take me a while. Like I listened to it when it first came out. I listened to it, and I was like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But then I just played it again. I played it again, and I played it again. And I just love the song.
Ended up on that Spotify Unwrapped.
She's like, hey, like, can I come over? And if you watch the video, I really like the video as well. So my number 2 is Ace by Noname featuring Smino and Saba from album Room 25.
Can I just say I probably know your number 1 right now?
Oh, I hate my life.
Don't say I probably know your number 1. Okay, but Ace by Noname.
Oh, I hate my life. I know he knows the number 1.
I think I know your number 1.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Okay, but no, yeah. Noname, Ace.
Yeah, great song. Great features. Saba. I mean, they're all just like...
That's Saba features.
But Noname, though, just them together. You know, she was...
I want more. Can we have a collab album?
Oh, my God. Can we, though?
That would be great.
Have you listened to Smino at all? I heard he's really good.
A little bit.
I haven't listened to him. I haven't listened to him at all.
Just a little smidget.
We do need a collab album, though. Come on, like.
Yeah, come on.
What are y'all waiting on? Okay, so my number 1, Luz probably already knows, but my number 1 is Busy Sirens.
I knew it.
By Saba, album Care For Me. Busy Sirens is just... This is probably the only song off the album, surprisingly, that I listen to. I listen to the song the most off the album. I don't know why, but I just... Like, because after listening to the whole album, like, you know, again and again, my favorite became Heaven's All Around Me. But I don't know, Busy Sirens just like really just sticks to me for some reason.
Sirens
is really good. And also I think it's because I know the lyrics.
Yeah.
I have a thing where I like music. I like to know the lyrics in songs so I can sing along and stuff.
You know how I learn lyrics?
Why? How?
I try to say them while the song's going on, and then I'll get it wrong. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's that. And then like I'll keep fixing it and fixing it, but I keep trying and I always get it wrong, but then I eventually get it. So like that's how I do it. I should probably just read and learn it that way.
I just looked them up for our podcast, which y'all should check out. We did a podcast on
Jeez,
Saba.
Oh my God, how many times we got to plug it?
It was episode 2.
I knew your number 1 was Busy/Sirens.
So my honorable mentions, you're not gonna know these at all.
Probably not.
So my first honorable mention is Lavish Lullaby by Masego from his album Lady, which is a great album. But this is probably the standout song off that album besides Old Age, which is a single off his album. But I like Lavish Lullaby because it was one of the only songs that's kind of like, it has like a, I think it has a trap beat. I don't know exactly what a trap beat is, but it definitely has like that. It's like,
yeah, it sounds like a trap beat.
I don't know. I just like, I don't even know what he's saying on the song, but I just like the song. My second, you don't know the song at all, is Still in Love by Third Story featuring Aaron Allen Kane.
And you're right, I don't know that song.
After we do this podcast, I have to play this because this is the vocals, and I just love this song. You know, great song. So my third one is, you might know this one, is Until Morning by James Vickery from his EP Until Morning. So this is not one of the best songs. However, I just really like, this is like, I kind of rank, my honorable mentions are kind of just like ones that I've been listening to a lot. Not really best or worst, more so like what have I been really into lately? And you know, at one point I was listening to that song a lot. So yeah, I just like his voice.
You showed it to me, and then like Charlie and CJ were in the room, and then they were both like, "Who's that?" So Good work. Good work.
Good work. I'm putting everybody
Good
on.
recommendation right there.
So I don't know. He has a James Vickery has like a colors performance on YouTube. Y'all should check that out. Colors beautiful. Thanks for showing me those things because they're.
Hey, see,
I found
you put me on.
I found a couple artists that I like now.
Yeah.
That was where I was first introduced to Earth Gang too. We gotta talk about them. Interesting.
Another podcast.
Okay. Anyway, my fourth one, I think it's fourth, is "Get to You Again" by Mac Ayres from his album "Something to Feel," and I'm pretty sure if you go back to the first podcast, I say that was my favorite song off the album. I'm slowly really starting to like "Roses" off that album. That's one of my. Is that your favorite?
Just keep going.
Okay. I said "Get to You Again" was my favorite, but I really like "Roses." But anyway, "Get to You Again," I love that song. And my last one is "Communication" by Aaron Ray.
Oh,
featuring
this
Drum.
Is like more recently. Like
from his
discovered
album.
The song.
Yeah, from his album Platinum Fire. Aaron Ray, he was a contestant on the X Factor, I believe. And I listened to the album. Didn't really like many of the songs. I liked "Communication" and another song called "Stressin'." But yeah, I definitely think it's one of those songs that you can just kind of like vibe to, you know?
We have agreements in our standout songs of the year. Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
We do. Okay.
I'm ready.
But we also do have different songs. So
you're like, my number one is Tierwhack.
No. Okay, so let me start off by saying El May Trip is a standout song of the year. Okay, just wanted to get that one out the way. All right, I wanted to get that one out the way. That's all, because I enjoy the song.
So is this ranked or is just no? Because you didn't.
I didn't rank.
You didn't rank it.
I didn't rank. I didn't know we were ranking standout songs
of
the year.
You didn't rank it?
No, I didn't rank.
I thought you said you didn't write it.
No, I wrote it. They're all here.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I didn't rank them though.
It doesn't have to be ranked.
Yeah, fine. But I wanted to get El May Trip out of the way. Now let me get the agreements out of the way. Okay. So Tiana Taylor, Gonna Love Me.
Yeah.
Made the list. Mac Ayres. We didn't agree on the song, but you did mention Roses.
Which was yours?
And which was mine.
Oh, so, it's a good song though.
Yes. It comes on. It's the first album? First song on the album?
First song, yeah.
And it's great.
What about This Bag? The last song.
I mean, it made. Did it make your top 5?
It made yours.
It made my top 5. Didn't make your top 5. But I mean, when it's in your top 10,
we're talking about the first episode of the podcast, y'all. If you don't know.
If you don't know, but Mac Ayres, Roses, and we also agree on Ace. No Name. Ooh. I had to put that one on. I was like, maybe I'll be inventive and put another song from that album on. But
Blaxploitation.
Yeah, maybe let me be different. But
me too. Did
you think that way? Did you think that way?
Yeah, I was gonna put like Self because I really like Self as an introduction.
And her favorite song, I think, is I forgot.
I think she said Blaxploitation.
No, I'm looking it up right now. But
I also like Montego Bay a lot. Yeah. But I just had to be honest with myself and say
that
Ace was my favorite.
I did have to be honest, and I had to put Ace as the.
Yeah, I had to be honest with myself.
She said her favorite song is "Don't Forget About Me" off the album.
I forgot about that song.
So I wanted to be inventive and like pick something else. But Ace, we agree on that. Saba, Busy / Sirens made my list. We do agree on that song. Sirens is hits. Like that part really hits for me. Yeah. Like it's like the last half. It's like 2.5 minutes.
Actually, he just came out with the video today for Sirens.
Really? I mean, how appropriate.
Right? I have to go back and watch it. But...
and I think that's all we agree on. And I have about like 16 or 17 songs.
Oh.
So some I combined from artists. So I put Anderson .Paak. I have 3.
What?
Brother's Keeper with Pusha T. You don't like that song?
No, I was about to guess the other 2.
Okay, you can guess the other 2.
Cheers?
No.
The one with Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
I forgot the name.
And the other one's not on his album. He released it this year, though. Oh.
I don't know.
Okay, so Brother's Keeper with Pusha T. Love the beat. We talked about it. It'll go up. And the beat's glorious. The way they come on the song is glorious. It feels like great what they talk about.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah. Talking about like, an obligation to hometown and how do you change from who you are and how do you cope with who you're becoming.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. Listen to that. Anderson .Paak
when
Brothers
it comes
feature,
out.
and the Snoop Dogg feature, Anywhere. That
Anywhere.
song is great. Might be my favorite on the album, Oxnard. Snoop Dogg has a great verse. I imagine he was like, he has a line. He's like, this the beat that makes me reminisce on something. And I imagine like they played the beat for him. He was like, I need to rap on this, and they're like, yeah, that it was for you. Like, so Anywhere, and then Anderson .Paak has great vocals on it. We like when Anderson .Paak sings. I do, by the way.
I like his voice.
But we also like him rapping, and that leads to my third song from Anderson .Paak on the Standout Songs of the Year, Bubblin'. Have you heard the song?
I've heard about it. I don't think I've listened to it.
Bubblin', I played so many times, and it's got me excited and hyped up for whatever I'm about to do next. Bubblin' is a great song when you want to feel cool and you want to feel like you're about to do something cool, or you want to get motivated. Bubblin', great song. It feels like celebratory. So I really like that song.
I have to go back and listen to it.
Leon Bridges. I mentioned his album. Yeah. But the song Bad Bad News is one of my favorite songs of 2018. Bad Bad News. Great incorporation of jazz and vocal in the song, especially the last minute of the song where it's like straight instrumentation. So I really like Leon Bridges' Bad Bad News. All right, I mentioned J-Rock, Redemption earlier. 2 of his songs made my Standout Songs of the Year. The Bloodiest, the intro track to Redemption. I mentioned his voice just hits, and it's hard, and it's gritty. This is that song, The Bloodiest. It really comes on, and it hits hard, and, you know, I mean, I guess it makes you feel tough in a way. But the next song is Wow, Freestyle, featuring Kendrick Lamar. And by J-Rock featuring Kendrick Lamar. It has a great feature. They go back and forth, which I love when rappers do, when they just go back and forth and feed off each other. And then that's what this song is. It's got a great great beat behind it, and that really complements their voices. So when they go back and forth, it just like it feels the chemistry's there between those two. So Wow, Freestyle. Also, that has to be one of, if not my favorite Kendrick feature from this year. I'd have to go through all of them, because even though Kendrick didn't release an album, he has come out with a lot of features. And quick shout out to a Kendrick feature, a song that did not make my list but has been coming on very strong towards the end of the year. The Mantra, featuring Pharrell and Kendrick and Kendrick Lamar. It's off the Creed 2 soundtrack.
Have you seen Creed 2?
I haven't seen Creed 2. I've seen Creed 1, and Creed 1 is great. And
I've seen Creed
looking
1.
forward to watching Creed 2. All right.
I saw it on a plane to Paris.
Wow. Oh, wow. Jeez.
Sorry, I didn't mean...
I feel insignificant right now. I feel like none of the rest of my songs matter.
I'm sorry about that flex. I just,
Vince Staples has... I combine these. One's the real song, Don't Get Chipped. It's a great song. It's fun like the rest of the album, but also has kind of like not a dramatic. When I say serious to it, it's not like dramatic. It just like hits hard. That's all I'm saying. And then on the album, the new Earl Sweatshirt interlude, where it's 15 seconds of Earl Sweatshirt rapping, and that's it. But it's some of the best rapping I've heard from Earl Sweatshirt, because
have you listened to his new album?
Yeah, I was going to mention his album, Some Rap Songs, which has been getting a lot of like critical praise, some critical acclaim. And, I just wanted to shout out Some Rap Songs from new Earl Sweatshirt. I mean, he's another one that battled like mental issues and mental health, coming out from that and then releasing music, which he felt like, wasn't possible for him anymore, but like coming out with Some Rap Songs. And this interlude, it's like he's put on a beat which fits the album as like fun and summery, but it's Earl Sweatshirt, and he's kind of dark, and he's like, he's dark. That's all I gotta say. But it's like a good mix where it makes Earl Sweatshirt sound like he's having fun on the beat, but also being dark, and it's 15 seconds, and I really enjoy it. I can't tell you how many times I played it. Okay. The Carters. Black Effect. Great song.
Not Friends.
Oh, wait, what?
Not Friends?
Not Friends. That's Pages. That's Pages. Friends.
She's like, I got friends.
Yeah. Black Effect is my standout song because they're really hitting on a topic that, for people in their position feels like they may be out of reach to other people. Like, oh, you're not in that. But it makes you like they're also touching on these topics of like Black excellence, but also Black suppression and suppression among people of color. So Black Effect has to be there because it has a great performances, like all around performance from both Beyonce and Jay-Z. Black Effect, standout song of the year. All right, from the Black Panther album, SOB RBE.
I like that one too.
Paramedic.
I like that.
Paramedic.
I like Paramedic.
Is I don't know how to describe this song. It's like what you want from a duo rapping. Also has some Kendrick in it. Not much, but it's mainly SOB. And man, this song is like, it woke me up in the year because, as I said, like with hip hop, I was having like this like this long drought of like, man, when's this music coming out? And then Paramedic hits and it's like, whoa, it woke me up. And the way they're rapping on it is great. And I love when they end on rapping in a song and they like cut it a cappella for the last like 15 or so seconds, or like it's a very minimal beat, I believe. And like the last 15 seconds of rapping is fantastic. It just hits from start to end, and it has to be a standout song. Paramedic off the Black Panther album. Now, some songs that are not on my favorite albums of the year. Kid Cudi featuring Kanye West. Reborn. I don't know if you've heard the song.
No, not at all.
But, I've been on and off on Kid Cudi, like, for a long time. Like, I was like, oh, his music's good. I'm not into it. I don't know. I don't think he's all that great. But, man, this song comes on, Reborn, and it brings me back to, like, soundtrack of my life, or soundtrack to my life. And then, like, that era of Day and Night, and like this song feel like it's inspirational. It makes me not give up on anything. Like, you listen to it and it feels like you just want to, like, as he says, like, keep moving forward. I'm moving forward. Like, it's really inspirational. It really hits me like in a way I wasn't expecting. And it, like, man, it's such a good pick me up to hear that song. So it's helped me. So I have to put it as my standout song of the year. Kid Cudi featuring Kanye West. Reborn. All right. I have to put this because people have forgotten about The Weeknd dropped a small EP.
Really?
This year, My Dear Melancholy.
Oh.
The Weeknd, Wasted Times.
Oh.
Is a song that is my standout song of the year. It came out this year, which is like, whoa, where is this year? This is a long year.
I can say I don't know much about The Weeknd.
That's okay, because I do. Wasted Times has to be a standout song of the year. I've listened to it so many times. That coupled with Try Me, great. And that 5-song EP that we got from The Weeknd brought us back to kind of like trilogy days. But he does a good mixture of trilogy plus with the pop sound that he's been doing in Starboy. So he's finding a lane to where both can work. And that's where I think the EP is great. And yeah, I think the last one I want to mention is Mac Miller, Self Care. This is a song off his Swimming album. And I'll save this one for last. I don't want to end on a depressing note because, I mean, we know with Mac Miller's recent death. But Self Care, it's made me cry multiple times. We talked about crying in music. Yeah. It's made me cry multiple times. I listened to it before. It was a standout song for me of the year before his death, and I had to put it on my I don't have an aux in my car. I don't have Bluetooth in my car. That's no flex at all. Like that's anti-flex right there. So I don't have an aux. I don't have Bluetooth, so I have to burn songs onto a CD.
Really?
And play it in my CD player.
I mean, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk later. We'll talk later. So I have to burn CDs onto a blank disc and play it in my CD player, and this is the last song on one of the albums I put because I was like, oh man, this needs to end on this song. The song's so great. Like it hits you emotionally. It really makes you think like about life and everything, and like the importance of just taking care of yourself, where we get lost in trying to make sure other people are okay, where we kind of lose ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's so important, like to take care of yourself and like to think about yourself, not in a selfish way, but just in like a caring way. Like self-care, Mac Miller really did something to me this year, and it has to be like a standout song. Especially it hits, I mean, after his death, and then with the second half of the song is beautiful. The production's beautiful. The way he comes on the song is beautiful. And that's almost a rare word to use in music, is beautiful. And that's just what it is. That the second half of that song shines. So that's my standout songs of the year. Spotify Unwrapped would tell me different. It would tell me God's Plan by Drake.
Oh my gosh.
But that's not one of my standout songs of the year. I think, this playlist might grow from us as in these next couple of weeks, as we're like, oh yeah, this song like has to be on.
Maybe
not. Maybe we'll keep it tight like that.
Yeah.
Like these tight 20 songs or so, where it's like, oh yeah, these are standout songs of the year. It feels like that, the exclusivity of it, where it's not like just a bunch of songs. Yeah. Like, oh, listen to all these songs. No, these are like the best 25 songs. Of the year.
So, I mean, as we wrap up the pod, I mean, you a real one if you like, if you're still listening, like, shout out to you.
Yeah, I don't know how long we've been going.
We've been going for like a long time. But since, I mean, you had a very long list.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I just want. I mean, it's only fair if I shout out some other songs. Okay, so I initially had like a list of 30. I'm not gonna list all 30, but I went from 30 and I picked a top 10. I ranked mine. So I just kind of want to shout out some songs that I enjoyed this year as well. So for me, Heaven's All Around Me.
Heaven All Around Me. Yep.
Saba. It Gets Better with Time. The Internet. Great song about like mental health. I mean, not really. I mean, yeah, sort of, but great song by them.
Like inspirational. Like it's kind of like Reborn.
It's like
with Kid Cudi. Like
it's like put your glasses on. Like it's telling you to just kind of like smile. It's kind of like, but it's like
like make your bed.
And then there's like a part. I don't know who is the person in the song, which I should have done the research. But it's like kind of like a spoken word, like rap part. More like a spoken word part in the song that I really like. Sativa by Janae Aiko featuring Ray Sherman.
Wait, did that come out this year? Trip, Janae Aiko.
I think so.
Because I would have put some songs on there.
Let me see.
I would have put some songs.
I looked up the remix. The remix came out this year. The album came out last year, but the remix with the second person, I don't know, Jimmy Lee, Sway. Who's the other one?
Don't know.
I think his name is Jimmy.
Slim Jimmy? Slim Jimmy?
Yeah, that's the other one.
Oh boy.
Well, like, okay, so
yeah, Slim Jimmy and Sway Lee.
So Sway Lee was on the original song.
Oh, okay.
But then the remix came out with both of them.
Oh, okay.
This year, so that's like one of my top. I listen to that song a lot, honestly. Make It Out Alive. Nao, I don't know how to say her name. Nao, Nao, featuring Sir. She put out an album this year called Saturn. I couldn't really get into the album, but the song in the album Saturn, I actually really like. Plus, Make It Out Alive. Hard Place. Shout out to her. She put out 2 like mini projects recently, and I think it's like a pretext to her album that she's about to put out, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be fire. Like, honestly, we didn't talk about her. Like, her, I had some things to say about her earlier this year, but I regret it because she is so talented.
You had some takes.
She is so talented. Like, she's not even the vocal runs.
She's talented.
Yeah, she's just
talented.
She's very talented. And
watch the Tiny Desk concert.
Oh yeah. Watch the Tiny Desk concert because she's very talented. Her music is very good. I would say I think she puts out good quality music. I think she puts out very good quality music. Some of the songs I can't get into, but okay. I still think it's good quality.
They have a place.
Yeah, I still think it's great music, you know. But shout out to her. But yeah, like. But I said her, but the song that I liked that she put out this year was "Hard Place." I don't know if you've heard. It was she sang it in the Tiny Desk. I really like that one.
I don't think I've heard the studio version though.
And "Let You Down" by Charlotte Day Wilson, which was in her Stone Woman EP. So I think we've had a very.
This is a lengthy 2018 best of.
Wrapped up.
Our summary. This is our unwrapped 2018. This is the true 2018 unwrapped for us.
Yeah, this is all the things that, you know, we've seen in music and culture, and, you know, we're like.
How would you describe this year for music?
Music, I feel like I don't have the musical palette, you know, like I feel like I don't have the range.
I can't give you a thought on overall music.
I think kind of like we said earlier.
I just know what works for me and what doesn't work for me.
Yeah, like 2017 really gave us some great music, from Daniel Caesar to SZA to Janae Aiko to
Tyler, the Creator
to Sir Sir came out this year. To Tyler, the Creator though. 2016 also gave us some good music with Frank Ocean. That was 2016, right? I think, yeah.
But I think with 2018, and especially with this podcast, it's opened my eyes up to more music that I probably wouldn't have experienced. Like I definitely I would have been shocked 2 years ago, or like maybe even a year ago. I have Tierra Whack World as like my top 5 albums.
Honestly wish I was more like, I wish I met someone who like put me onto music, or I wish I was really into music younger, because it sucks, because it's like, you know, I listen to these artists and I'm forced to have to go like years back and, you know, figure,
it's like playing catch up.
And try to figure out like how have they changed, and, you know, to kind of join in the conversation. It sucks, but it is what it is.
One podcast at a time.
Right?
Yeah, so don't mind me. I enjoyed 2018. I think this was a year where it's opened up my eyes to new music I might have not experienced before, like Tierra Whack, Mac Ayres. I wouldn't have heard of if it wasn't for you. Shout out to us. Yeah, shout out to us.
We knew each other last year, but
but I mean, here we are. I mean, Noname, Saba. I mean, just eye-opening music. I would describe it.
Don't mind me, but like, Care For Me is the best album of 2018. Period. Point blank.
Yeah. So, period. Don't mind us, but hey, go listen to Care For Me by Saba.
Period.